Hello and welcome back to Surviving with Superdaddy here in Minecraft. And today we are gonna do some fun stuff. We have a bit of a plan to go on an adventure. Here we have updated to 1.19, so we're still waiting for Optifine and for Fabric to update as well. But until that happens, we'll go ahead and do some exploring, maybe link up some portals and such, and see where we go from there. Since we have seen each other last time, I've been doing a couple things. I did get a villager over here in my fishing hut, and it's this nice little fisherman. I think we'll have to come up with a name for him, but I don't have one yet. As you can see, I've been doing some trading with him and getting some emeralds and such. And I thought it was a nice little addition to the gazebo out here to have some fishermen out here as well. Also, between videos, I did manage to gear myself out and fished up a mending book as well, so that we could put those on our Sith sandals. It's the Blast 4, Unbreaking, Feather Falling, and all the goodies with the Depth Strider and Soul Speed on it. I do have to amend what I said in my previous video. It does appear that you can combine Depth Strider 3 and Soul Speed 3 in this new update. I think it was only something they were going to take out of the game when Sneak Speed was going to be on your boots instead of your pants. Or Swift Sneak, yes. But as you can see, I also did enchant my other gear here. Also enchanted up a axe. I am Groot. And still got my diamond pickaxe here as well. I think we'll probably end up putting another mending book that I fished up as well on this pair of pants here. And we should end up being pretty well geared out for now. Which, now that I've got you here, I'll go ahead and do that. As you can see, this is where I've been kind of keeping all of my decent enchantments that I've been getting out of fishing. And here's the mending book that I did acquire. Let's go ahead and pop that on there, and let's give these diamond leggings a name. And I think we shall go with Dance Pants. That seems like a good name for the diamond leggings. And now those should end up healing up as we go today, so that way these won't end up breaking on us. Seeing as we don't really need to put any other enchantments on this, we should be good with just putting the Protection 4 and Breaking 3 and Mending, and this should be basically ready to upgrade to Netherite at some point when we're ready. But now that we're finished gearing up for now, I think we're going to go ahead and do a neat little thing here. We are going to make some Eyes of Ender, because, like I said, today we're going to go do some exploring, and I would like to find a Stronghold. So we're going to go ahead and make a good couple of those just to start off. And I'm also going to make 2 ender chests, just so that we have a way of potentially putting any goods that we acquire while we're out exploring into a storage system that we don't have to have in our inventory. I'm going to go ahead and set the ender chest right here. And now, as you can see, we can set things in there. And if I were to set down this other ender chest right here, we would have full access to anything that we had set in there from any other place. We should also have a Silk Touch pickaxe with us when we end up doing this, so I'll go ahead and just make another diamond one right now. And we're going to go ahead and just equip one of the books that I fished onto this as well to get our Silk Touch pickaxe for this world. Alright, with Silk Touch book in hand, let's see how many levels it's going to cost us to apply it. 4. Which we happen to have 5 levels, so we can go ahead and name it if we want. I think we'll go ahead and knock that out right now. Might as well. I think we're going to go ahead and name this one Midas's Touch. And now when we set down this ender chest, we can actually pick it up as well, as long as we have a Silk Touch item. That'll let you pick it up as the ender chest instead of breaking it down into the individual items that you crafted it out of. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave that one there. And I think we're going to make a couple more Eyes of Ender, so that way we can get to where we're going and still have a couple Eyes of Ender left over in case the Ender portal is empty. Alright, so now with 12 Eyes of Ender, we should be able to get to where we're going without any problem. If we end up needing to light the portal, we may end up needing to get some more, but we'll see how that works. For now, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more things, and then we will begin our venture. Alright, so I have basically everything that I'm going to need for this little venture, but I would like to also map out the area, and since it makes sense to map out the area around this island, we're going to go ahead and do so. We'll start off by just going ahead and making the map. As you can see, it doesn't end up picking the most optimal places to place the map down. Usually it'll end up placing it on a corner piece of some sort and leaving you, if you've been building in any specific spot, it'll usually leave you with only a corner of whatever you've built, and you'll end up having to make more than one map to fill the entire thing. In this case though, we're going to go ahead and expand this map. And to make any map bigger, all you do is take a cartography table and just keep expanding it with more paper until it's as large as it'll go. 4 is the highest scaling that you can put on any particular map that I know of. But now we have a map. We also have a compass in case we need to get back. Go ahead and put this cartography table back and we'll be off. So how exactly does one go about finding a stronghold? Well, it's pretty easy. You're going to take these Eyes of Ender that you see in my hand here, and you're going to throw them in the air. Yes, throw them in the air. I'm just kidding. Not like that. However, you are going to use them, so just left click them, or I'm sorry, right click them. It'll throw them into the air. Oh, would you look at that? And it'll actually go into the direction that the stronghold is at. So, if we continue in this direction, we will eventually end up finding a stronghold. And I believe that that's on the map as well. Yep. So we can fill out the map area in between. So I know it's probably an unrealistic hope, but I am hoping that I will end up finding a mangrove along the way here too. I would love to use some of that wood, the newer wood type that has come out. I think it's going to be awesome. And go ahead and tell me in the comments, guys, which thing about 1.19 are you most excited about having come out? Because for me, I do believe it's probably the mangrove wood. Although I do like the mud blocks. Those are also a really neat addition to the game. I've always found that new wood types are pretty awesome. And now that we've gone a little ways here, we're going to go ahead and throw this up into the air and see which direction it's going. And as you can see, I did get it back this time. However, you don't always get these back. Sometimes they will break. As you're exploring, every time you throw them up, you have a chance for them to break. So you want to be sparing. You want to run for a while. See if you can't go for a good couple hundred blocks or so. It's usually that the stronghold is going to be generated about 1,000 to 3,000 blocks from your spawn point. We have found some donkeys and horses. I definitely know where I'll be coming back to here soon, because I would like to get some mules. And the only way to do that is to breed a donkey with a horse. But let's go ahead and toss this up one more time. I think it's going to continue us in this direction. Oh, and as you can see, it shattered right there. We lost it. So now we are now down to 11 Eyes of Ender to get us there, hopefully. Well, we probably should have brought a bed, but the good news is we did bring shears, and we can end up... Oh! Trying to die. Ooh. That was heart-wrenching. Okay. We survived that. And let's not do it again. Sheep. Give me your wool. Please. I have need of your wool to make a bed. Acacia. Well, this is a wood type that I'm pretty sure we don't have yet, so we're going to grab a couple of these saplings, but we're also going to go ahead and make a bed out of this. Acacia is one of my favorite wood types, and it goes well with some of the things that we're going to be building. So we're absolutely going to collect a couple of these saplings. Alright, with a couple saplings in hand, we are ready to continue on. Alright, I think we can go ahead and toss another Eye of Ender just to make sure we're going in the right direction still. And looks like we need to keep going this way. So, from what I've seen, strongholds do tend to generate in villages. And as you can see, we are starting to come up on one here now. So, once we get to the village, it's probably a good idea to toss up one of these Eyes of Enders and see if maybe we're getting close. Alright, let's give it a toss and see where we need to go. We need to keep continuing this direction, so we shall. Now that we're out of the village, let's give it another toss just to make sure I'm correct, that it's past the village, and it looks like it is. So we're going to keep continuing this direction. Oh, tossing another ender pearl, and it looks like we're going back now, which means it's somewhere over here down at the bottom of this hill. Okay, we're going to give it a toss. Huh? This way? Oh no! Give me back my Eye of Ender. They're not cheap. Let's toss it again. And it looks like it went into the ground this time, which means we have found it. We have found our stronghold. So this is where you want to start digging down. Making certain that you're going down to the stronghold. I always recommend, though, don't dig straight down. Dig a 2-wide tunnel like this so that way you can tell what you're about to dig out, and if you're about to dig out the block underneath you, for instance. You can see we're about to come into a cave here. And we're getting shot. I'm going to go ahead and just start coming down here. Oh. And try not to die. Yes. This is going swimmingly. Get it? Oh my gosh. I think maybe we go back up this waterfall and reconsider this strategy. Okay. I'm taking this skeleton out. Oop, that one's down. But apparently we have another friend up here who just thinks he is the bee's knees. Alright. Taking out some of those archers. Just gonna pop down a couple more torches. And we're gonna continue down once we take out this other archer. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and continue on down from here. I think this will be the spot. And those are the telltale signs of a stronghold. These bricks right here. We have made it to the stronghold. And I'll go ahead and just mark the way we came in with a couple torches right there. But we are here now. And this place is where you are going to find a portal to the end. Another dimension, much like the Nether. And that dimension is where you can finish the game, basically. Not that there is an actual end to the game, but if there were, the end would be the end. I believe we found it. Down there, I believe, is where it is. Yep. We found it. This is it, guys. And it looks like it's a completely empty portal, which means in order to light it, I will need to have 12 Eyes of Ender. As you can see, I don't. Also in front of this is a spawner. And the mob that pops out of these spawners is one of the biggest pains in everyone's booty, which is why I'm going to break it. I know. Taboo, guys, breaking a spawner. But there's literally nothing that you can get out of this spawner, and all it does is cause you trouble. We're gonna get rid of it now. And we've done it. We have found the portal. I'm so excited about this, guys, because this means not this episode, but next episode maybe, we can go to the end, and we can start getting some of those end game things like elytra, and be able to fly around our world, which also sounds a lot of fun. So, we'll end up doing that maybe in the next episode, or one of the upcoming episodes here soon. We'll see. But now that we've found the portal, we're going to go ahead and just take a screenshot here, and make certain that we have the coordinates of this portal, so that way we can come back at any given time. And then we're going to tower on out of here. But we've already found our stronghold now, so at this point we can do a couple things. What I like to do is I like to build a nether portal down by the stronghold, so that way you are able to easily access it from your main bases. So that's what we'll end up doing today. Wow, that was fun. Well, he tried. He tried really hard to get us, but sorry, we're not getting taken down that easily, not with our blast protection 4 on. But it should be easier to recognize landmark now. However, now that we've done this and located this particular spot, we're going to go ahead and head back to our base. And we might fill out a little bit of the map along the way as well. But with that, we have made it back home. We are safe and sound. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it the end of our episode today. We've done quite a bit. We did find our stronghold today, and we've located the end portal. So we are going to be ready to go into the end here within the next couple episodes. My goal is by episode 10 to be in the end and have defeated the Ender Dragon. So we will see what we can do to make certain that happens. Also, we didn't end up finding a mangrove forest today, so I think tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next episode, we will end up going searching for that mangrove forest first things first. And that will end up being our task at the beginning of our next episode, is finding that mangrove forest. Maybe even checking out some of these new 1.19 features that they've just unleashed onto the world. But like I said, that's going to be all for today. Make certain that you all stay safe out there, stay healthy, and we will see you all next time. Bye.